So for production theory, just a very brief recap on what production theory is. I started with saying production theory is the opposite of consumer theory. So consumer theory is to consumers, production theory is for producers, and it is, I remember I started the whole topic saying that that different markets have different players, and each players have their own interests. And the producer's interest is to maximize profit and create value, minimize cost, and many other interests. So production theory has to do with how the producer chooses his input in order to maximize profit and minimize costs. That's just a very brief summary on what it is. So now we'll be moving to calculation aspects. I'll just be explaining using the notes. So, and maybe some past questions, but I'll majorly be explaining the examples in the notes. And the first example is, it says, given a production function q is a function of, as q equals to fkl. So q is a function of capital and labor, which is equals to 10k raised per half or raised to power half. When q is equal to 100, find the equation of the isoquant. And remember that when I started this topic, I said that isoquants are to the producers what indifference curves are to the consumers. Find the equation of the isoquant. So just like isoquants, formula for isoquants is the slope of the isoquant is change in inputs x over change in input y. In this case, change in input k over change in input l. So the slope of, just like the slope of the indifference curve is the marginal rate of substitution, the slope of the isoquant is the marginal rate of technical substitution. So I'll just explain something again. I explained this before, but I'll explain it again. The indifference curve is to the consumer what the isoquant is to the producer. And remember I said indifference curve forms the consumer theory is based on diminishing marginal utility, and we use indifference curve to explain some things. So that's how we use isoquant to explain some things here. And just like we have marginal rate of substitution in consumer theory, which is the rate at which an individual substitutes good x for good y, we have marginal rate of technical substitution in production theory, which is the rate at which a producer substitutes an input x for an input y in the production of goods. So the marginal rate of technical substitution. Don't forget, for consumers it is MRS, for producers MRTS, marginal rate of technical substitution. That's changing change in x. So I actually was already explaining the second part of the question. So before this part, they asked for just the equation. So when q is 100, that means the equation just puts 100 where q is 100 is equal to 10k raised per half l raised per half. That's the equation, as simple. So what I was solving was the second part. So I'll go again. Now, still with the same question. Okay, but now Q was not given. So let me put A. Yeah, Q was not given. They just said when Q is a function of capital and labor, which is equal to 10 K R. So this is the answer to this one. So this number one, just to be sure, equation of the isocones. This is it. So now the second question, find the slope of the isocones. So this is where you will not actually do what I was doing, and the slope is mpk, that's marginal product of k over mpl, marginal product of l. Just like I said that this, the marginal rate of technical substitution is the slope of the isocones, and this is the formula for the marginal rate of technical substitution. That's how much you substitute k for l. And just put kl. So this is the slope of isocones, and so now we differentiate q with respect to k and q with respect to l. When you differentiate with respect to k, you get half times 10, that's 5k raised power 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 l raised power 1 over 2 over also 5k raised to power 1 over 2 l raised power minus 1 over 2. Then when you simplify it, this will be 5l raised power 1 over 2 over k raised power 1 over 2 over 5k raised power 1 over 2 over l raised power 1 over 2, which can be rewritten as k raised power half, which is equal to 5l over 5k, which is equal to l over k. Therefore, the MRTS of this equation is L over K. That's the final answer. So another thing I would like us to note is that just like a consumer is at optimum consumption when the slope of the indifference curve, which is MRS, is equal to the slope of the budget line. A producer is producing efficiently when the slope of the isocones is equal to the slope of the isocost. That means that what we did here, if there's a given isocost, this must be equal to the isocost. That shows that the producer is producing efficiently.